Hello, my friends. Hello, hello. I think we are starting. Yeah, here we go. Good morning, everyone. It is 10:59. We're getting ready to start in about 1 minute. So grab your props, grab your mat. Let me Right, time to start. Okay. So today I don't have any jars of peanut butter because that's kind of old news now. But you may want to today have, again, blocks may be helpful, but just something that maybe can allow your body to a little length for your body. So whether that be blocks or anything else that might be the same size that you can use on each side may be helpful. So certainly go grab that if you don't have that already. And then you will want, if your shoulders are tight, you will want to have either a strap. You could use a dog leash. You could use a towel. So today I'm going to use a towel, but again, just grabbing something if you do feel like your shoulders are a little tight this morning. We are going to get those shoulders from both the front and the back side today with a variety of movements. My name is Kirsten, and I'm so grateful that you've joined me today. Just a reminder that our practice, we were practicing until about 11:45. And I found something that one of my fellow teachers wrote a while back on Facebook, Stephanie Barnhill, if you're watching, or I'm going to just give a shout out to her regardless. And it really is a good reminder for all of us. So in yoga, you want to focus on the feeling, not the display, not that you are displaying for anyone. You're in your own home, but just a reminder that we don't need to be we're not on display. We really want to focus on the feeling. Go for the subtle, not the intense. It's not about intensity. Use yoga to heal, not to harm. Practice for you and no one else. Embrace your own expression. So, yes, just a reminder, it is all yours, all you. All right, with that all said, let's lay all the way back on our backs. And I'm actually going to stay seated, but if you will start there. It's just a good, comfortable place to start because sometimes seated is not the most comfortable for everyone. If you decide you do want to sit, absolutely fine. If you're on your back, just find that comfortable place and just relax. We're just going to take a few breaths here. It's really important at the very beginning of class and the very end of class just to tune in. We generally don't take a lot of time to do that, or any time during the day sometimes. Maybe a little bit more time to reflect these days, but right now, close your eyes or just dim the lights a little bit. Find your own natural rhythm of breathing. Just that slow, steady flow. Nothing forced. Really tuning into the feel and the flow. Let's stay here a few more breaths. Again, noticing the temperature as it moves in, the temperature as it moves out. Where does it flow? Does it flow mostly into the belly, into the rib cage, into the chest? Is it equally distributed between those spaces? Perfect. Now, let's start here with a nice long stretch. So reach your fingertips in one direction and your toes in the other. I'm actually going to join you on my back. So stretch out nice and long here. Reach, reach, reach. And then hug your knees into your chest. Maybe wrap your arms around your legs. Maybe draw your nose up to your knees. And let's do this one more time where we stretch out nice and long. And then pull the knees into the chest. Maybe draw the nose up to the knees for a second, rounding out through the spine. And then gently returning the head, bringing the head back to the mat. Set the soles of your feet to your mat. Bring them about mat width apart. Good. And then right here, with the soles of the feet, not mat width apart. Let's take that back. Bring them about hip bone width apart and walk them as close into the bottom as you can get them. Arms are alongside you, palms are facing down. Press your lower back to the floor and then begin to peel one vertebra up off the floor at a time. We're bridging all the way up onto the shoulders. And then we'll bridge right back down. So that slow articulation of the spine is core control. So we're controlling the movement all the way down, all the way up. Let's do that one more time. So we'll press the lower back to the mat, peel one vertebra up off the mat at a time, bridge all the way up to the shoulders, and then we're bridging right back down. As soon as we come up, bridging down. Just warming up a little bit through the spine here. Now the next time you bridge up, so let's do that one more time. We're actually bridging up and then we're holding in our bridge. So keep your focus straight up to the ceiling. Keep your spine nice and long. In fact, check in with the chin. Make sure the chin is away from the chest. Press fully through the soles of the feet. Sometimes we press to the outside edges, but really check in. Fully pressing through the feet, pressing the hips up into the air. Right here, you are strengthening through the back side of the body, opening up through the front side of the body. And now we'll gently, again, begin to bridge back down. Good. And then bringing the knees into the chest. Again, maybe wrapping the arms around the legs, just drawing the knees in. All right, now let's set the soles of the feet to the mat and cross your right leg all the way over your left. So it's all the way over, and hug your legs in nice and tight. Now, core control again here. Arms are alongside you. We're going to pull the legs into the chest. So just hugging them in. Now see if you can hug your legs in a little bit closer toward each other. So it's like you're wrapping your legs around. You are wrapping your legs around each other as much as you can. So we're going to practice eagle pose today. And so these are just the eagle legs that we can practice and get a little core strengthening as we hold here before we actually stand up and practice it. All right, set the sole of your foot, left foot back down, and set the right foot back to the mat. Cross your left leg all the way over your right. Arms again are alongside you for support. Bring your legs in, and they're maybe just in enough so that your feet are slightly up off the mat. Maybe your shins are parallel to the mat, but hug your legs in toward each other. It's like you have one leg here, hugging everything in. And that's, again, really important when we are actually practicing eagle pose standing, is hugging those legs in. So it's just a little chance to practice that. All right, set the sole of your right foot back to the mat, uncross your legs, and let's gently rock and roll up to seated, or press yourself up to your side, or come to the side and press up to seated. All right, let's begin to, or continue to warm up through the spine a little bit here. So setting one hand to the mat and extending that opposite arm up and over. So I still am doing a little bit, trying to do a little bit of reconnaissance on how to change these. So we're just flowing from side to side. How to change the camera so that it doesn't look like I'm using one side, I'm actually using the opposite side. So I don't want to say right and left to you, because I know it looks like right now I'm using my right arm, is probably looking like my left arm. All right, one more time. Perfect, and then come back to center and then folding yourself forward here. So as we move through our class, as always, just noticing or listening to the cues instead of necessarily watching on the right and the left. So I will cue right and left as we get rolling here in just a little bit. So just a reminder, just to listen and not necessarily watch. That might mess things up a little bit. Come back in and let's move to all fours. So you're on your hands and knees with the hands directly underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Let's move through a couple rounds of cat and cow here. So inhaling to find your cow pose, full breath. And then as you exhale, round out through the spine, tuck the chin in and the tailbone under. Again, inhaling to find your cow pose, full breath. And exhaling to find cat. Returning to a flat back, looking straight down to your mat, keeping your spine nice and long here. We are going to practice a little balance here. By the way, we have a lot of balance today. Or not maybe a lot, but quite a bit. All right, so looking straight down to your mat, keeping the spine long. Let's extend the left leg straight back behind. And then extend your right arm straight out in front. So you're reaching for opposite sides of the room. Again, keeping the focus straight down, keeping the spine long. Place your hand and your knee back to the mat. And let's switch to the other side. So reset here, and then extending your right leg long. Extending your left arm straight out in front. Engage the arm and the leg, pressing or reaching for opposite sides of the room. And then hand and knee to the mat. Now let's add a little movement. So we'll extend the left leg back. Extend your right arm forward. Now maybe this is where you stay, or if you want to add a little bit of movement here, take a full breath. As you exhale, pull your elbow and your knee in toward each other. Inhale to lengthen nice and long. Exhale to bring the elbow and the knee in. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale to pull the elbow and the knee in. Inhale to lengthen long and hold on right here. Now bring your arm and your leg just a little bit out to the side. So instead of straight out in front and in back, bring it out to the side and notice how your core needs to work a little differently in order to keep you balanced. And then bring your arm and your leg back to center, hand and knee back to the floor, and let's reset. So again, looking straight down to your mat, keep your spine nice and long. Let's extend the right leg back and extend the left arm forward. Hang on right here if you choose, otherwise we'll add movement. Inhale here. Exhale to bring your elbow and your knee in. Inhale to lengthen nice and long. Exhale, elbow and knee in. One more like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow and knee in. Inhale to lengthen long, and then bring your arm and your leg out to the side a little bit and just notice how things need to change just a little bit here to keep you balanced. Bring your arm and your leg back to center, hand and knee back to the floor, and press back, extended child's pose. All right, this is my cue to remind you at any point during our practice, you are welcome to find child's pose. Your knees can be directly underneath you. If you're feeling a little tight through the back, that might feel good. If you want to go wider with the knees and keep the big toes together, that may loosen up through the hips a little bit, and that might feel good. And so you have that option as well. The arms can be stretched out in front with the palms facing down. You could rotate your palms to face up. So you have all of those options and many more. So finding what feels best for you here. And now let's return to all fours. Good. Now from all fours this time, walk your hands forward. You'll be in a modified plank pose. Keeping your elbows locked into the side of the body, lower yourself all the way down to your mat. Good, and then from here, we're going to slide the forearms forward. Just a reminder of our options for back bends. With your forearms slid forward, the palms to the floor, this is Sphinx pose. You could also keep your hands underneath the shoulders, point your elbows toward the back of the room, ground your legs to the floor, and then find a cobra. And it could be a little cobra here. It could be a little bit bigger. The pelvis stays to the floor. Shoulders are down your back, elbows are locked in. Good, and you do have the option to also find up dog, but at this point you may just choose to be a little lower here in our back bends. All right, and then let's lower all the way back down to the mat. On your knees or on your toes, press up to your plank or your modified plank. Curl your toes under and let's find our first down dog. So in down dog, your feet are about hip bone width apart, your hands are shoulder width apart. And it might feel good here to walk the dog, gently pressing one heel toward the floor at a time. Slow and controlled, try to get some length through those calves. All right, pressing both heels toward the floor and your chest toward your thighs. Press your chest again, really pressing away from your hands. It's like you're trying to rip your mat in two. So you're pressing away from your hands, your bottom pressing up. It's like an upside down V. All right, let's shift our weight. Let's find plank. Now know that you can always drop your knees to the floor and have a modified version of that plank. Keeping your elbows locked into the side of the body, lower yourself down and then inhale up to your back bend. Your expression of a back bend, whatever that looks like, is fine. Then choosing here to go either right to your down dog, or you could lower down, press up to plank, and then find down dog. So that particular flow will be optional from this point on, and you'll have opportunities to do them as we flow through class. All right, walking your hands and feet together, find a standing forward bend. And this is where, if you're tight through hamstrings, and you may be tight if you've been sitting at a desk a lot, or just sitting in general, you may feel a lot of tightness through those hamstrings, because as we sit, now you guys just hang forward, as you sit, of course, your knee is bent, and so there's a little bit more stretching going on through the front of the legs, a lot less. It's getting a little bit shorter back here, so we are taking some time to stretch out through the hamstrings. It should feel really good. So just allowing the upper body to relax forward. Again, using your blocks if you need that extra length or extra extension, I guess, to the ground. Just relax. Bring your body weight forward a little more into the balls of the feet. Lighter on the heels. Relax your head and neck. Shake your head yes and no a couple of times. And now we're going to do a slow roll up, one vertebra at a time. You may want to place your hands to your thighs, but rolling all the way up to stand. All right, you guys, I'm all about warming up, and then we get into a little bit more intensity. So we're going to do one more thing. Actually, we'll do a couple more things to warm up. All right, so we are going to twist. So you can move to the front end of your mat. So I'm going to stay facing you guys, but we'll twist a little bit here. So just inhaling the arms up. As you exhale, twist in one direction. It doesn't matter which way you go, but one arm will be forward, the opposite arm will be in front, or in back, excuse me. Inhale to come center, exhale, let's twist to the other side. One more time each way. Inhale, center, exhale to twist. And last time here, inhale, center, exhale to twist. All right, inhale, center. You should be at the front end of your mat. I'm going to join you at the front end of my mat. And let's open up. So back bend, opening up, goalpost arms, cactus arms. Inhale to straighten back up. Exhale, dive yourself forward. Placing your hands on your shins, on your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift up. You choose where you have that hand placement. And then exhale to fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out through the crown of the head and through the tailbone, and then exhale, fold yourself forward. Stepping back to a plank or a modified version of plank, and you can choose here to flow, plank, up dog, down dog, or you could go right to down dog. I am going to flow this time, but you have the option to completely not do this part at any point. We are meeting in down dog, and let's inhale the right leg up the back wall. So inhaling the right leg up, keep pressing through that left heel. All right, we are adding a little core strengthening here today, and it's very similar to what we just did when we were on all fours. You have the option to drop the left knee to the floor at this point if you'd like. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, bring your right knee into your forehead. So you're rounding out through the spine. Again, left knee can come to the floor. Inhale to lengthen back up, three-legged dog. Exhale to bring the knee in. It's like you're in more of a plank than you are down dog. Inhale to lengthen back up, three-legged dog. Exhale to bring the knee in, rounding out through the spine, core strong. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring the knee in, look between your hands and gently place that right foot there. Check your front knee, your knee should be right over your heel. Drop your back knee to the floor, relax your back foot. You may want a little extra padding underneath that back knee. You can roll up the side of your mat. You can add a towel here. Inhale to bring the arms up. You could goalpost arms, you could clasp your hands behind your back. So again, we're gonna work the shoulders or open up through the shoulders in a couple of different ways. So right here, let's focus in just for a second on the hip. So that back hip, you're trying to stretch out through the hip flexor. So create space between your front heel and your back knee. So you have this diagonal line, and then just allow your hips to sink forward. All right, so from here, I'm going to turn to you for a second. So stay where you are. And then I'd like you just to wrap, your right arm is going to be on top, your left arm underneath. It's like you're giving yourself a hug. So this is a good way to start for eagle arms, and that's where we're going next. So you'll just rotate your arms so that the bottom part of the arm is perpendicular to the floor. And maybe you wrap your arms so that they are not really connected or wrapped up tight. That's fine. You could be right here. You could wrap them up a little bit more fully. And if things are feeling all right, maybe you lift the elbows up and open up. You should feel a nice stretch through the back of the shoulders here. So we are incorporating with our low lunge these arms, these eagle arms. Now on your next inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale your hands down around your right foot. Let's begin to shift our weight back. And we're actually this is where those blocks are helpful. So we're going to flow a little bit here. So as you inhale, shift your weight forward. And as you exhale, shift your weight back. Just one more time with that. Inhale to shift forward. And exhale to shift back. And this is where we'll hold for a breath. So stretching out again through the hamstrings. And again, this one's a little bit more intense than just that standing forward bend. So if you need a little extra bend in the knee here, make sure you do that. The right hip may want to come forward, that back or that front hip. So just allow that, press that right hip back. All right, let's shift forward here. So you're shifting back to your low lunge. Curl your left toes under, and you may want to slide that back foot in just a little bit. Walk the hands forward a little bit more, and lift that left leg up into the air. So you're lifting up here. All right, just as we've done a couple of times already, we're going to pull the knee in. So take a full breath in here. As you exhale, pull that left knee into the chest, into the forehead, really. Inhale to lengthen the leg, variation of warrior 3. Exhale to bring the knee in. And one more time, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to pull the knee in, hug that belly button to the spine. And now lengthen the leg long. And let's bring the left toes back to the mat. You're back in your lunge. Step the right foot back to join your left down dog. All right, same series, same flow on the other side. Inhale to lengthen the left leg up. This is where we'll add a little bit of core strengthening. Always know that you can modify. Take a full breath in. Exhale to bring the left knee into the forehead. Drop your right knee to the floor if you need that extra support. Inhale, lengthen, three-legged dog. Exhale to bring the knee in, strong through the core, strong through the arms. Inhale to lengthen the leg. Exhale to bring the knee in. Good. And let's do it one more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bring the knee in. Look between your hands and gently place that left foot there. Give yourself a little assist if you need to. Left knee and left ankle should line up. Drop your back knee to the floor. Inhale to bring the arms up. Exhale, back bend. So opening up, it could be those goalpost arms, it could be hands clasped behind your back. But sink your hips forward here. So that's another area that gets really tight with a lot of sitting. Actually, a lot of anything that we do with a forward motion. So the walking, and I'm sure a lot of you are walking. It's been beautiful here in North Carolina. I think it's been snowing up the Midwest, so sorry about that. All right, hands down around your left foot, your front foot, and let's begin to shift our weight back. So we're going to do this flow a couple of times. Inhale to flow forward, nice and easy. Exhale to flow back. And last time here, inhale to flow forward. And this time as you flow back, this is where we'll hang out for a couple of breaths. Stretching out through that hamstring. Again, if it's too much, bend your left knee a little extra. Making sure you're using props if you're feeling tight. It's really important to stretch properly through that hamstring, or slowly, really. All right, let's shift our weight forward. Now, curl your right toes under. You may need to slide that right foot in, walk your hands a little more forward, and lift that right leg up into the air. So this again is our modified version of Warrior 3. This might be helpful for you later. Just remember that this is an option later. All right, right here, we're going to pull that right knee into the forehead. Inhale to lengthen the leg back long. Exhale to bring the knee in. And one more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring the knee in. And now lengthening the leg and dropping gently the right toes back to the mat. Left foot back to join your right. Find your down dog. Stay right here, or optional flow. Plank, up dog, down dog. If you want to go there, you do not have to. All right, so this is where things become a little bit more intense. And certainly feel free to modify, find your expression of these poses. We're not going for intensity, although I just said that, didn't I? All right, anyway. You choose your level. Inhale the right leg up the back wall. As you exhale, bring the knee in and step the foot through. Turn your back foot on its side, and let's come on up here. Now, I did not tell you as we were coming up to grab your towel or your strap. So sorry about that. Take a second here, grab your towel or your strap, and then we have the right foot forward and the left foot back. Now let's find where we're going to go with these legs first. So just sling your towel or your strap over your shoulder. Your right toe should be facing straight ahead toward the front end of your mat. Your left foot, your left heel, and your right heel could intersect, or you could go a little wider with this so that you could turn your upper body to face the front of the room as much as possible, the front of your mat. So we're lunging through this front knee, inhaling the arms up for a Warrior 1. So again, lunging through that front knee, making sure your knee and your ankle are lined up. All right, so you have your Warrior 1 here. Now let's change it up. Grab your strap or your towel, or by the way, you could just clasp your hands behind your back. But this is a little extra length if you feel like you're tight through the shoulders. So you're grabbing that strap and we're pressing the knuckles toward the floor, opening up through the front part of the body. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, fold to the inside part of your right leg. This is called Humble Warrior. We'll flow one more time up. Inhale to flow up and back, nice and easy, no rush. Exhale to flow forward. And this is where we'll hang out for a couple of breaths. So as you hold here, a couple of things. Your right hip will want to come forward. Keep sending your right hip back. And then with the shoulders, stretching out through the front of the shoulders, if you're finding you need to go a little wider with the hands, feel free to make that adjustment here. All right, now inhaling to flow up, releasing your strap if you do have that strap, pivoting onto the back toes. All right, so I said we have a little bit of balance that we're working on today. We're going to start here with a Warrior 3. So you may decide you want to slide that back foot in. Find some spot in front of you that is not moving that you can focus on and quiet your mind. Lift that back leg up. Energize that back foot. It does not matter how high that foot comes up. It might be just slightly up off the mat. That's all right. Your arms can be alongside you. They could be out to the side. They could be by the reaching toward the wall in front of you. Energize that back leg. Good. Now from here, we're finding a standing splits pose. So the fingertips can come to the mat. They could come to your blocks. The left leg, you're going to extend that leg up as high as you can. Don't worry about the position of the hips. Sometimes we say hips to the floor or square to the floor. But now just lift up, lengthen up, and draw your nose a little closer toward your right knee. This is more hamstring lengthening. All right, you guys. Know that you always have options, right? So your left foot can come to the floor for this. If you want to challenge yourself, let's go for this. Bring your left knee in like we did before, but hug it in and hold it in, maybe even plant it against the right leg. Again, know that you can set your left foot to the mat. Hug your legs in toward each other. See if you can stand up on just this right foot. Oh boy. Good, and if you're there, now cross your left ankle above your right knee. Find a figure 4. Hands to your heart, arms out to the side, Hands to your thighs. You choose. So balance again, holding on right here. That right leg may be talking to you. We are almost done with this balance bit. Ooh. All right, now slowly with control, stand up and let's send this left foot back and find a warrior two. So last week we moved through a flow and I wanted to put this part in. It was been planned and then I yabbered too much and then we never got there. So we're going to do that here. So you find this warrior two with the right foot forward, left foot back, or right foot pointing toward the front of the mat, the left foot parallel with the back end of your mat. Your right heel and your left arch are lined up. Right knee, check in. Can you see your right big toe to the inside part of your right knee? Rotate your front palm to face up. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, let's find a reverse warrior. Left fingertips are gently placed on that left leg or left arm behind your back. Keep lunging through that front knee. Take a full breath in here, exhaling to find side angle pose. Right forearm to the right thigh, left arm by your ear. We have a tendency to dump into that arm that's on the leg. So try to relieve some of that pressure and really focus in here on core strengthening. In fact, you could extend both the right and left arms here. All right, now your left hand is going to come to the mat or to your block, and your right arm will extend up for revolved side angle. Now here's the deal. If you are finding that back leg, that there's a little extra torque on that back knee and it's too much, pivot onto your back toes and find this twist. So you can find this revolved side angle or just a twist, a lunge twist, your choice. Our last pose in this series. Placing your right hand to the floor, left hand to the floor, pivoting onto the back toes if they're not there on pivot already. On pivot, we'll step the right foot back to join your left down dog. Left side, let's inhale the left leg up. Exhale to bring the knee in and step the foot through. Grab that strap or your towel on your way up. Turn your back foot on its side. Inhale to come up, warrior one. So you're lunging again through that front leg, but make sure your knee and your ankle are lined up. Finding your expression of this pose. The arms may be straight up. Maybe they're out a little bit. Maybe they're forward a little bit. If you're tighter through the shoulders, you may notice that you can't quite get somewhere that you think you should be, but know that there is nowhere real way, the perfect way. There's not a perfect way. There's a safe way, as I've said a gazillion times. All right, grab your strap or your towel or clasp your hands together and press your knuckles toward the floor. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, fold to the inside part of your left leg. We're flowing one more time with this. Inhale to flow up and back. And exhale to flow forward. This is time where we're going to hang out for a couple of breaths. So you're not leaning your chest on your leg. Actually, you're coming to the inside part. And maybe you're not even quite to your leg as you fold forward. That's all right. It's all good. Keep sending your left hip will want to come forward. Keep sending your left hip back toward the wall behind you. Now, on your next inhale, we'll sweep the arms all the way up. So that means releasing your towel or your strap. Finding that warrior one again, and now pivoting onto your back toes. Find that spot that you can focus on that is not moving. Maybe slide that back foot in. Strong core here. Arms can be wherever they're helpful. Lift off that back leg. Energize that back leg. So press the sole of the foot toward the wall behind you. Again, maybe you're a little more upright. That's all right. Maybe your body and your leg are parallel with the floor or close to it. That's all right too. Hold on, one more breath. And then gently touching down. So the fingertips come to the blocks or to your mat for standing splits. Drawing your nose a little closer toward your left knee and extending that right leg up into the air. All right, you guys, you know you have choices here. So deciding what is going to be best for you. Maybe you set your right foot to the floor. Maybe you hug your right knee into the chest, hug it in, strong core, even connecting the tops of the legs to begin to stand up. Yeah, I feel that in my booty. I don't know about y'all. Right here, once you have stood up, right ankle above your left knee, figure 4, hands to your heart, arms out to the side, hands to the thigh. You're low, and you can lower down here too, to get a little more hip opening. And we have one more breath. Hold on right here. Your hips may decide they don't want to remain square to the floor, so really check in here with that. Now we are slowly, slowly coming up and sending the right foot back to find our warrior 2. Extending out nice and long here. So lunging through that front knee, checking in with those feet position. The most important thing here, I think, is the knee position on that front leg, because we have a tendency to drop the knee in. So really widen your knee out. You should be able to see your big toe to the inside part of your left knee here. Arms extended nice and long, chest is lifted. Turn your front palm up. Let's find a reverse warrior. Right fingertips gently placed on that right leg or right arm behind your back. Keep lunging through that front knee. Take a full breath in, exhaling to find your side angle pose. So the left forearm to the left thigh, right arm by your ear, or maybe you extend both arms nice and long. And I'm keeping my back to you for a second right now because of this revolution, or is it a revolution? I don't know. Because we're going to revolve this pretty quickly, and I want to be able to see then. So your right hand will come to the floor or to your block. The left arm will extend up for a revolved side angle pose. Now, again, if you're finding that back leg, it's just too much back there, pivot onto your back toes. You'll feel just fine. Either way, that twisting is so good. Hands down around your left foot back to join your right. Find your down dog. Stay right here, or optional flow. Plank, up dog, down dog. Great job, you guys. Now, either in down dog or in child's pose, let's take a couple of breaths. And those breaths, I really want you to feel those breaths. Inhaling fully. Exhaling, really check in. Great job. All right, now let's come up onto all fours. Curl your toes under to come to down dog, if you're not there already, by the way. Let's walk our hands and feet together to find a standing forward bend. And we're going to roll up this time, nice and easy. So one vertebra at a time. So before we move to the floor to finish things up, let's do one more balance pose. Yeah, that's for real. And this is eagle pose. So we practiced a couple of things that maybe will get us there, but you have the option to change things up if you need to, of course. So once again, I am going to call out the side. So please, instead of maybe watching, really just listen. We're bringing all of our weight to our left foot. So bring all of your weight to your left foot. And bring your right leg. Here's the deal. We did a figure 4. You are welcome to go there. But we also practiced eagle legs earlier. So maybe you cross and bring that right leg all the way across the left, all the way around, and hug your legs in toward each other. Maybe you can wrap so much that you even connect your toes to the outside or the backside of your calf or your Achilles. But you're hugging your legs in toward each other. Maybe you're right here with just those toes to the opposite side. So you guys have so many options, finding which option is best for you. All right, so these are the legs, finding your balance. If you want to add the arms, you are welcome to do that. We practiced those as well today. And maybe it's just giving yourself that hug. Don't worry about which arm is on top and which one is on the bottom at this point. Just notice which arm is on top here. And then maybe you flip it so that now the bottom part of the arm, the forearm, is perpendicular to the floor. So you've got a lot going on here. In fact, this is a challenging pose because your arms, if they are up, are bisecting your gaze. And of course, we are using our gaze for balance. But quiet your mind here. It's all good. All right, so noticing again which arm you have closest to you. That'll be important very shortly. And let's release. All right, are you guys ready? Opposite side. So setting your right foot right underneath that right hip bone. So lining those joints up. Maybe you just cross that left leg to the opposite, or the left toes to the opposite side of that right foot. Maybe you find that figure four. Maybe you cross your leg all the way over and hug your legs in toward each other. Maybe you can wrap it up so tight that the toes connect to the opposite side of that calf or Achilles. So you could just hang out here, absolutely fine. Or if you want to do arms, wrap it up and then arms perpendicular, forearms perpendicular. Maybe you're here. Again, finding your expression of this pose. If you're in eagle and you want to lower down, you always have that option as well. One more breath, you guys. Good, and then release that. Release your arms, release your legs, shake it out. And we are moving down to our mats. Now, there's no fancy way to get there today, so just come on down. So before we move on to our backs, we are going to, actually, let's do our pigeon pose. We need to do that. And I know that I'm going over. I do this way too much where I'm going over time. But let's do pigeon because I think it's super important based on the fact that a lot of us are sitting during the day. All right. So come to either all fours or come to down dog, either one of those. And we are going to start with the right leg. So we'll slide the right leg in, right knee, in behind the right wrist. And then check in. Right knee should be outside your right shoulder. So check in with that. It shouldn't be right underneath you. Give it a little angle. And then notice where your right heel is. If it's in the midline and it's feeling good, like you're feeling some stuff through the hips, then just stay there. But you do have the option to send that heel forward a little bit more as well. Hips should be square to the floor. And if you need support for your right hip, in this case, you could slide your block underneath that right hip, or just slide even your blanket or your towel, So you have that option as well. All right. So you could fold forward here. You could be a little more upright and just stay there, but folding forward does feel pretty good. Now, the thing that I see a lot when people fold forward is just that automatically, just completely relaxing down. And while, of course, you want to be able to do that a little bit, we also want to keep our spine long. And so I always suggest to folks in my class to either, you could use a block, to place the forehead on the block to keep the spine long. You can put your fist down and place your forehead on your fist. But it's just kind of important to keep the spine nice and long, just because we are doing that head drop so much already with our phones where they are generally. All right, hold on right here. So we do keep a lot of stuff. I never really thought I was a big, huge believer in all the emotion that is actually held in the hips. I know that can sound a little crazy, but it is amazing that when you open up your hips, how it just is this biggest relief of stuff. And I have had folks in class get a little emotional, and I've done it actually too, so not just them, it's me too. Last breath. Right, now let's walk up. Now you have the option to go back to all fours. You could go to down dog as well. It might feel good to walk the dog here if you're in an all fours position, maybe rolling through the hip a couple of times in each direction. And now let's go to that left side. So either from down dog or all fours, you're going to slide your left knee in behind the left wrist. Right leg should be straight behind you. So you may want to, there's a lot of setting up here to, just to make sure that you are kind of setting up, again, correctly may not be the right word, but safely. So hip square to the floor, right leg straight behind you. You want to take a quick sneak peek just to make sure that it is. And then you are folding yourself forward here, staying nice and long through the spine. And we're holding here about 5, 6 full breaths. Those are slow breaths. And with each exhale, see if you can soften down just a little bit more. Because the hips are this amazing joint. And as you know, the hips can go in all kinds of different directions. And so we find, of course, that stretching through the shoulders feels really good because it's that same type of joint, and the hips. So hopefully we got the shoulders pretty good today with our eagle pose and with our humble warrior. And now adding in this really amazing hip stretch. So pigeon pose is amazing. Now, I will give you this option for when you are, so you guys just hang out. We have a couple of breaths. You do always have that option too, by the way, you guys, to come onto your back and find that figure 4 that we did, but on our backs. So if you ever feel like it's just too much to be in pigeon, you do have that option. All right, now you are going to move out of pigeon on this side, walking yourself up and sitting down onto your left hip, swinging your legs around to face the front of your mat, and then just shake them out. And then we are moving on to our backs. And the first thing that we'll do when we get onto our backs is an inversion. So we did a bridge pose earlier in practice, and you are welcome to do that. So that's that bridge pose where we press the hips up into the air. That's an inversion, as is this pose, which is just, it's called waterfall. Actually, my instructor many, many years ago called it dead bug, and I found that very fun. So dead bug, waterfall, you have that option. Happy baby pose. Some people really like to find that pose toward the end of class. It's another hip opener and an inversion. Let's hold on here just a couple more breaths. So finding your shape, your inversion. Inversions are a great way to reset, restore the body. Legs up the wall right before you go to sleep. That's the bomb. So especially if you have trouble sleeping. All right, now let's release that. Come out of your inversion. Hug your knees into your chest, and we'll do a little twist here. So the knees can be in, and then they'll go to side stacked, or if you want to do a little cross, set the left foot back to your mat and cross your right leg all the way over your left. It's kind of familiar from the very beginning of class, but we're going to do a twist with this. So shift your hips a little toward the right edge of your mat, extend your arms out to the side, goalpost arms or arms straight out, and let's gently bring cross legs to the left. Now, once again, if it's too much on your back here, this provides a little more intensity. If it is too much, uncross and just stack the right leg on top of the left. And you can also get a good neck stretch here, turning to look to your right. Perfect, and then come to center, bring your legs back to center. And if you have that cross, well, let's first reset. Shift your hips so that they are center on the mat. And then maybe you cross your left leg all the way over your right. Maybe you shift your hips a little toward the left edge of your mat. That just may feel a little bit better as you twist. And we are twisting to the right, so bringing the knees over to that right side, whether they be stacked or crossed, your choice. And then turning to look to your left. I know that I'm doing a lot of chatting with you all and a lot of instruction, but because I can't see you or really know how things are going, I do want to take more time to do that. So thanks for your patience with that. That means that I end up not getting through everything that I wanted to get through, but it is worth it to me, and I hope that it is to you as well. Perfect. You're coming back to center, bringing your legs back in, uncrossing your legs, and finding any other pose that you feel you might need before we move to final relaxation. If you are ready to move to final relaxation, send your legs down toward the bottom corners of your mat. Extend your arms nice and wide, like a starfish. You could go really wide with this. You also have the option to bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the side. You could bring your knees, your feet, so that they are mat width apart, and drop your knees in toward each other. All of that may feel good on the hips, those two last poses in particular. All right, so find your pose, your expression of this last pose. Your breath. I've said this the last few times. We're going to continue to focus on the breath and just how valuable it is. And we have it with us all the time. But you can really tune in to the inhale and notice how as you breathe in, it can provide energy that maybe you feel like you really don't have at a particular time. It provides energy, it provides nourishment for the body. And then the exhale, you can use that exhale to relax and calm the body. So you could focus on both aspects of the breath, or you could really just focus in on one piece of it. Maybe because it's 11 a.m., almost noon, you need a little more energy. You need to focus on that. Or maybe you are ready just to relax and release and calm yourself. Staying focused on the breath, on that one thing, that one aspect. And in this case, we're using the breath as our anchor. Just allows the body to be quiet just for a little bit. So enjoy this time. You'll hear my voice again in just a little bit, a couple of minutes, and then we'll wrap things up together. And now bring some gentle movement to your fingers and your toes. Roll through the wrists, roll through the ankles, maybe stretch out nice and long. And then you have the option, you could rock and roll yourself up, although you may want to go a little more slowly. Just roll to your side and press yourself up. Let's meet in a seated posture. And let's take one more big deep breath in together. Bring your arms all the way up, stretch up nice and long. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. All right, so the light in me honors the light in each of you, which is actually what namaste means. So namaste, my friends. I'm so grateful for your presence today.